All right, today it's time for a story on the Mind of Matter channel. Back in 2001, I found this 1986 BMW 325 ES out in Burlington, North Carolina, or somewhere near there anyway. I knew I had wanted a BMW E30 at the time, and this was the cheapest manual hardtop in the area that I could find. They were asking about $1,300 for it, and the front end had already been hit a little. Furthermore, it needed paint all over, a new shift linkage rebuild, and some other assorted maintenance. It didn't deter me though, and I sold my 1991 Trans Am GTA to buy this car for a whopping $800. This was just a few months before I graduated high school, and a lot of my friends asked, why would you sell your Trans Am for something so slow, so broken, and so ugly? For example, the paint was flaking off like old tissue paper and was faded in other places. Plus, the whole car was shaped like a tissue box, nothing like the Trans Am I just sold. And for a while, only first, third, and fifth gears could be selected with the busted shifter. One time, I even forgot to park the car facing uphill, and instead was forced to push the car backwards uphill in order to get out of the parking spot. So after a couple of weeks, I finally caved and started rebuilding the transmission shifter with the help of my dad. You can actually see my dad and his gray 735i that he owned at the time in some of these pictures. Still, this car set off my lifelong love of E30 chassis BMWs, and I was more than up to the challenge of fixing it up with the help of my friends and my dad. During this time, my buddy Adam and I were working at the Saturn of Raleigh car dealership. We worked in the detail department, so after I had it painted, I would especially spend way too much time cleaning up this car in between customer work. You can actually see Adam's White Rabbit GTI in a couple of these pictures as well. More on Adam coming up later. Not only was this my only car, my daily driver, I also started out autocrossing it as well. Just like I had with my last two cars, which were also my first two cars. I enjoyed autocrossing it, and eventually I started tracking it too. I straight piped the muffler on the BMW because, race car. And this car remains the best sounding six-cylinder car I've ever had. For the record, I didn't crash the car there, but I got pretty far into that ditch. Eventually, I got a little more serious about track stuff and ordered and installed a roll bar. I still remember how excited I was waiting for the roll bar shipment to arrive. Around this time, I got a job at a local independent BMW shop called Shea Chi Garage. They're still open, they still do fantastic work. I highly recommend it if you have a BMW to service in the Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina area. Anyways, the owner there sold me a really good Jim Conforti chip for the computer ECU that runs the engine. It transforms the car like everyone told me it would. And also at the same time, I worked for Leith BMW, which allowed me to get some discount on some of the parts I was going to buy. Other freebies included steel wheels from the Saturn of Raleigh dealership that I still worked at, which looked a little questionable in the car, but I ran them for a while too. And all of this was amongst different racing events and different types of rallying and different types of driving styles that I would do throughout the driving season in North Carolina. For example, my buddies Matt, Steve, Chris, and I would often go to this field in North Raleigh near our homes to rally across the cars. One time, Steve ruined his oil pan on his slammed down E28 535 IS, and the same day I did pretty similar damage to my oil pan, although not quite as bad. I put a hairline crack in it, but I was able to JB weld it a few days later, and I think it's probably still like that today, for all I know. But it held up and didn't give me any problems with leaking beyond that day. Anyway, all this is going somewhere. Around about 2006, I graduated from NC State Engineering. I sold the car. I think I got about $2,800 for it. Fast forward to April 2022. The same buddy Adam messages me from North Carolina with this ad with what appeared to be my old car for sale not far from Raleigh. How did I know it was my car? It was really obvious right away to me. First of all, I had Saturn OEM tires that I got free from the dealership that were basically throwaways during a Firestone recall. And this car still had these Saturn spec Firestones. Also, the other thing I knew was from the stickers on the car, the Canadian flag on the dashboard, sticker residue on the doors, and some of the stickers on the back of the car. Those were the same. The wheels, the Ozzy Fittipaldis, those are pretty rare as well, plus the Kamei body kit that was still present on the car, and the roll bar is somewhat rare as well. This car was a 100% my old car. I messaged the seller right away, as Adam said he would go and pick it up for me if I wanted. The seller never got back to me all night, and I couldn't sleep. In the morning, I tried again, no response from the seller, and eventually the seller said, I scrapped the car. When the ad disappeared after I heard that, I knew something was suspicious because nobody would scrap this car, even in the condition that it's in. Turns out my buddy Adam went and bought the car without telling me in case I wanted it. What a friend, am I right? However, the bad news when he got back showed there is tons of rust on the car and it's in pretty neglected shape. Is the rust fixable? Yes. Will I be the one fixing it? No. Rust is my nemesis, as you guys know from my Camaro videos, so the car will not be coming back to my house, unfortunately. However, Adam's friend Nolan has kindly agreed to take the car and fix it up while he's driving it, so I'm very excited to know that it's going to be put back into right condition eventually. So thanks to Nolan for that, and thanks to Nolan for this video he made documenting the condition of the car today.
So here we have the E30 and all of its neglected glory, as I would call it. Do a quick walk around. The trunk latch is broken, missing a piece up here. Trunk is kind of disgusting. Sticker. Rear valance missing. Cool do exhaust. No huge dents or anything. Mouse nest I found last night, cleaned most of it out. Sports seats in neglected condition. Found a bunch of shift knobs. I don't know which one you had in yours. Shifter, a little, needs some work. Wheels, disgusting. Engine, still there. Gonna end up hitting her with the pressure washer pretty soon and trying to clean her up just a little bit so I can start working on her.
Well, that's it for today. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. That's the story of my BMW 325 ES, and I hope to see it on the road again one day soon.